Well, hello everyone. Welcome. I'm going to work on my quilt today. So if you're watching, that's great. If you watched the video, that's great. But I want to go ahead and get started. So I went ahead and I cut everything. See, everything's all cut into, these are 6 by 6 inch squares. Um, they are purple on one side. Sorry about that. They are, I've got purple with Stitch. This is Stitch. He's really cute. He's from Disney. This is a Disney print. And so the next stage after you cut your squares is you need to separate them. I'm going to try and keep them all in the same direction. And this shouldn't take too long since they are square. You know, us square people. If one's a little off, you know, it's still okay as long as in general they're 6 by 6. Well, at least that's the size I'm using. What size you guys choose to use is up to you. I've seen people use 4 by 4s, triangles, just all kinds of different shapes and sizes. And when we start to put this together in a minute, you're going to see that this actually could end up being a pretty nice little blanket. You're going to be doing some math here in a minute as well. And I'll tell you why. You're going to have to count these squares. And generally speaking, if you count one set, you'll know how many you have because you've got one of each. Yeah, what fun. This is not the fun part. The fun part's when you put it all together and watch it grow into something really beautiful. I was going to start separating them before I started recording, but I thought, you know what, I'll just do it while I have everybody on with me. You want to try and keep your pieces as smooth as possible. You don't want to get wrinkles in them. Because then you just have to do more ironing, which you're going to end up ironing. So I hope everyone has an iron of some type or some way to smooth out your fabric. And even if like your backside, which I'm making fleece on the backside of mine. Then that's an odd shot size. So we've got an odd man out. I guess it's not too odd, a little bit. I would play some music, except for I don't want to play music and then have it be muted while I'm streaming or after I'm done streaming if somebody wants to watch the video. All right, we're almost done. Getting down there. Watch one pile go down, the other pile go up. If you can see my desk behind me, I'm sorry, it's such a mess. So, just curious, if any of you watch me on Twitch, because I also do gaming on Twitch. I don't think I have a link on YouTube for that. I should do that. I should make a link. I also do make hand lotions, which I've never done that for anyone but me, but I could do a video on that. This one's got a crease in it. So when I ironed this, I must not have ironed out a crease, or the crease got developed after I cut everything. There's not a fast way to count this because, it's not paper. You can't buy some of that pink stuff and just flip through. You're just going to have to count. This is going to give you an idea of how big you can make your blanket as well. And the only reason I did squares instead of triangles is because I didn't want to have my first quilt that I did publicly to be difficult. because you can do all kinds of stuff with quilting. You can cut your fabric so that you have a design. That's what's really cool is people who can do that and make designs and stuff. Because it takes precision. You have to cut your fabric, especially if you have multiple colors and different panels, and you have to know what size it's going to be. Okay? These panels over here are extras. I'm going to check something. Okay, it is working. Let me check something else. Okay. Okay, so it's just gonna, I think my headphones are probably getting, they've been being used a lot today. So I may have to plug them in. These extra panels are odd shaped. And you may come across where you need an odd shaped panel. Or it might be that you have enough of these odd shaped panels to do a border or something. It just depends. I mean, I've got enough purple over here without the stitch to possibly cut out enough to do a border of all purple. I don't know if I want to do that. So I have not. Because that's quite a process. All right. These are my odd shaped panels. These are my regular panels. So let's see how many we got. Okay, well there's 15, so that means I have 30. That should be 25. Thirty-six, 37, 38, 39, 40, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. There's 50, 52, 53. There's approximately 53 of these panels, so that's 106 total. So it should be able to go 53 across, 53 down. Really? Well, should make a nice size blanket because you're going to go 53 across. No, you can't do that. If that's 53, so fifty-three, 468 inches divided by 12. That's not right. This blanket is going to be way bigger than that, than 30. Yeah. Plus 3 equals divided by I don't think that's right. Let me figure something out really quick. Okay, so everything's divided up. Divide the finished width of the quilt by the width of your squares, and then divide the finished length of the quilt by the length of of your squares. For example, 64 inches wide. Okay. Let's do that. Let's go 64 inches, which is 5 foot 4 inches. Okay, so I'm going to use my microphone because my headset is going dead. And I can hear myself talk. And that's fine. So, it says, to calculate the number of squares for the width, you take the finished width of your quilt in inches and divide it by the finished size of one of your squares. So, if you want your quilt to be 5 feet by 5 feet, which is 60 inches, you would take your 60 inches and divide it by however many inches your square is. In my case, my square is 6 inches. And so that equals 10.6, well, 11, basically almost 11 squares. Roll up the decimal to the next whole number to ensure that the width is covered. And then it says calculate the number of squares for the length. So I want to do 60 by 60. So 5 foot by 5 foot. Divided by 6 is 10 squares. So each section is going to have 10 squares if I want it to be 60 by 60. Find the total number of squares. Multiply the number of squares you calculated for the width by the number of squares you calculated for the length. So 10 by 10 is 100. And I have over 100 squares. So that should be fine. So that means that if I'm going to have my blanket, it's going to be approximately 5 foot by 5 foot. These squares, if I want to add them in, I can add them in. So now that I know I'm going to do a 10 by 10 area, you want to start pinning. When you pin, you're going to take 1 square of each, and this is where it's going to become interesting, because when you sew this, you want to pin how you're going to sew. So you're going to match up your squares to the best of your ability. not going to be perfect by any means. Not unless you're pretty perfect as far as cutting goes, and I'm not, so I won't say that I am. You put the right side facing the right side, okay? So when you sew it, you're going to sew it together right side to right side, and that way when you flip it up, it's going to flip up and kind of look like that. Okay? So that's how you want to pin. I use these kind of pins. They have little balls on the end, so I can utilize them and not get hurt. Now some people are going to say you should only do 2 squares at a time, and then from those 2 squares you go ahead and do your next 2 squares, and then your next 2 squares, and then you pin those together. I'm thinking I might do that, in which case this is irrelevant, and all I need to do is get my sewing machine out and sew the 2 together. So I may do that. I don't know yet. And the reason I say that is because when I flip this over to do the next one, which will be a stitch one, this is going to be quite interesting. I think I'm going to do that. Actually, I think I am going to do that. So on that note, I'm going to end this video and come back to it with my sewing machine. And just so that we have an idea of what we're talking about here, before I do it, I'm going to sew 2 panels together, okay? Then I'm going to go ahead and sew 2 more panels together. And again, you're going to put kind of want to, it depends on what you want your quilt to look like and how perfect you want it to be. But this is an odd size. I don't like these purple panels. They didn't come out the way I wanted them to. This is the fun part of making a quilt, is putting it together. How do you want it to go together? Okay. So that's going to go together, and then once that's done, like that, you'll sew these 2 together, like that. so on and so forth, until you have 10 across, and then you'll do that, and then you'll sew 10 down. Okay? We'll kind of do it together, see how it comes out.